There's just a quick, simple video of how to have proper no squeeze out style of glue ups. So what I do with all of my honeycomb or hexagon shelves is I tape up all my inside corners. The reason for that is once I tape them all together, glue them up and roll them up, there will be squeeze out no matter how hard you try. If you have a good glue up, there's going to be squeeze out. You want squeeze out essentially. That way you know you have full coverage of the joint. So what I end up doing is I end up just taking some green tape, some masking tape. You can use the Dollarama stuff and just tape up right to that seam. The reason for that is once these joints are together, you are going to have no surface of wood showing at that point. So once that's done and I glue everything up, I'll wait about half an hour to 45 minutes and then I'll come back over to the joints that I just glued up and I'll peel back the green tape. The way I do that is I make sure I pull towards the inside of the joint and not towards the outside. That way any of the glue that's still soft or wet on the inside, I'll be pulling away from the joint and nothing will spray back into the inside. Another added benefit of taping up your joints like this is once it's taped up, glued up, and everything's set and you're waiting for that hour, 45 minutes to pass before you can take it out of clamps, you can take that time to wipe away your squeeze out without possibly smearing it into all of the wood around there. In the event that you do have some squeeze out or your tape job wasn't that good putting it on and you have some glue that came up underside of the green tape, you can use a chisel or a card scraper in order to pull it away from the joint. If you're using a card scraper, start from the inside of the joint, pull out, and if you're using a chisel, make sure it's sharp and go at a 90 degree towards the joint and then straight down. You do not want to go cross grain. If you go cross grain, you'll get tear out and it'll just make it look even worse. Now you'll have bumps inside of your joint which will stick out even more than the glue will. Once you're done with that, be cautious on how you sand everything. I prefer not to sand if I can, because then you never know if my finish sander is going to have a little spiral in there or if I'm going to be making some obvious lines once I put my finish on. So just be cautious with that. Sand as little as you possibly can if you can get away with it. I always pre-sand. Sand everything, that way you don't need to come back and sand after. The worst thing you want to do is use an orbital sander on your joints. Then you'll start to see these lines about an 1/8 or a 1/16 of an inch above your joint, and that's because the orbital sander is scraping the inside of that joint and you really don't want that. Thank you for watching about how to quickly and properly do some miter joints. Well, I can't really say properly, there's probably a whole bunch of good ways that you can do them, but a simple technique on how to make your life so much easier when it comes to putting on the finished product. Thank you.